Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. SuperVin47 here, welcoming you back to the Checkpoint Podcast, a podcast for video game commentators by video game commentators. Joining with me today will be HazelNuttyGames. Welcome to the show, Hazel.
Hi, I'm Hazel from HazelNuttyGames. I say that a lot. And I am running around as Demon Hunter right here, and I can't shoot that bird. That's upsetting. Oh, he left. He didn't like me.
That is actually the Raven from The Raven. From, what is it, the Edgar Allan Poe movie? Anyway.
Oh, I thought you were about to say the Raven, like Blood Raven from A Song of Ice and Fire, like the Game of Thrones novels. Oh. But that's a different story.
The Three-Eyed Raven. He is the distant cousin of the Three-Eyed Raven. Anyway, the game you're watching in the background right now is Diablo 3. A throwback, yeah, but still a damn fun game.
Mm-hmm. We are starting from the very beginning with level 1 characters on normal mode because we know you want to see the hardcore stuff.
Oh.
We got some zombie shooting right here.
Except this isn't actually hardcore because we're nubs.
Yeah.
We're all the nubs.
This is hardcore for us.
Oh, yes. Totally.
Good. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm extremely excited.
Thank you.
I like talking.
Thank you. Alright. So, how about a quick introduction of yourself for the viewers? What do you do?
Well, I make Let's Play videos and other gaming commentary type stuff on the internet. Because, I looked on the internet and nobody was doing that, and I thought, what a novel idea. I'm going to be a pioneer in this industry and do what nobody's ever done before and make Let's Plays.
Frontier. Yeah. To the frontier.
Yes.
Nice.
So I do Let's Plays. I recently finished my first ever series. I'm quite new at this.
Oh, did you?
I finished Don't Starve. We did 43 episodes. We made it to day 95 or something like that. It was very exciting.
Oh, fantastic.
And we are starting Shadowrun Returns. The first episode should be available as soon as YouTube finishes processing it. One day.
Okay.
One day.
All right. So, what got you into LPing aside from the whole you're the first person ever to do it? Yeah.
Well, I've been watching gaming videos for probably 2 or 3 years. I'm a huge fan of some of the bigger people in a network like TGS, Total Biscuit, Jesse Cox, Dodger, all those people. I love them to death. And I've been watching Total Biscuit ever since Cataclysm videos, and I just really, really enjoyed it. But eventually, WoW commentary videos started dropping off as all the major people started to quit WoW, and I thought about making them. Mm-hmm. And then eventually kind of got into it that way. I have an ongoing World of Warcraft series where I actually cast pet battle matches and do guides on strategies for those. So that was my original idea, but then I decided I wanted to branch out into all kinds of games because there's more to life than World of Warcraft. It took me a long time to see that, but there is.
Okay. Oh, so you started off branching into Don't Starve, or?
Yes, I picked up Don't Starve not that long after it came out. I saw a friend streaming it and thought I had to try this. I bought it, and then a couple days later, I was like 35 hours in, and knew that if I was going to make a Let's Play series, it had to be that one. I love that game so much. It was something I knew a fair bit about, and it's fantastic. I'm probably, my Steam profile is like 90 hours on it now. It's ridiculous.
Holy mackerel!
Best $15 I ever spent.
Dare I ask, what is the Steam game that you spent the most time on?
Probably Don't Starve, actually, just because for the majority of my gaming life, I just played World of Warcraft. It was only in this last 6 months or so that I started branching out into my Steam games, and that's the only one I've really gone crazy on.
Oh, really? When did you start playing World of Warcraft? Just curious.
Right around the end of the Wrath of the Lich King, so it was probably about 2010.
Oh, wow, so
I was a noob then.
So you're after my time.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm after a lot of people's time. I still think of myself as a new player, even though I don't play all that much anymore.
Oh, wow. That was, Let me think now. I started playing back when Burning Crusade first came out in 2006, I believe. And I stopped just after Wrath of the Lich King started up. So I was like,
my first ever boss was, I was playing an undead holy priest at the time, and I got into a pickup group for ICC 10. And I was trying to heal Professor Putricide, and I was brand new, so obviously I had no idea what I was doing. And I got kicked out of the group and got really upset. And that was my first ever bout.
Oh no, what happened?
I let people die.
Oh.
I later got a lot better. My favorite raids were probably Firelands in Cataclysm. It was one of my. I played a Resto Druid through that, and that was just wonderful. We did heroic 10-man Firelands, which was so much fun.
What do you think of WoW now? Like, since you have a much more updated view of it than I do.
Yeah, well, I'll start by talking a little bit about Mists of Pandaria, because a lot of people have a lot of opinions on it.
Black,
a lot of
man.
people that played back in like Vanilla and Burning Crusade see Mists of Pandaria and they think, pandas. Pandas are dumb.
It's Jack Black. Come on.
Yeah. And I'll agree, pandas are dumb. I don't actually play a panda. I think they're a little bit silly. I do understand they're part of the Warcraft lore, but
They were they were originally started as a joke? April Fool's joke, I think?
They actually had a place in the whole lore before then. They did make an April Fool's joke where they said they were bringing in pandas, and they will never ever live that down. But yeah, so they brought in pandas, but everybody writes off the expansion because of that, and they did a lot of other really great things. The World of Pandaria and the leveling experience is the best one they've done so far. It's absolutely beautiful. Having said that, I don't play all that much anymore because I've been playing it for 3 years now. There's only so long you can play the same game for, and a lot of people that are saying WoW has gone super downhill, it's evolved. It's a changing game, and it's not going to be the same as it was when you played it before. And even if it was, people get bored of it. It's just the way it is. There's nothing wrong with that.
So
I pretty much log in for pet battles exclusively now. I log in, I do my pet battle dailies, I make pet battle videos, and that's it. I used to do a bunch of arena back in Cataclysm, but the community is just hard. It's hard to find partners that are good people.
Really? How so? I've never really gone into the whole arena thing. Oh, we are surrounded.
Yeah, it's okay. I got a gun or something. Bows, arrows. Pew pew.
So I never really got into arena. What is the community like in there?
Well, it really depends on if you can. It's just like raiding. If you can find a guild or a couple of people that you really enjoy playing with, it's the best thing. But guilds fall apart, people lose contact, and if you don't know anybody, it's the general pickup person that you do arena with is going to be between 14 and 16 on average. I'm not saying this is everybody, but 14 to 16-year-old guys that talk about pot in their mom's house, and they tend to be very unforgiving when they find out over Skype that I'm not also a 14-year-old male.
Oh my.
So I've had some problems that way. Most of the gaming community is really cool about it, but that one not so much.
Oh wow, that's harsh.
Yeah, so I don't play arena much anymore. If I had the right people, I definitely would, but right now it's just me and my battle pets taking over the world.
So what is the deal behind battle pets? Like,
it's Pokemon in World of Warcraft.
Oh.
All the companion pets that you've had for all this time now have combat abilities in a turn-based combat situation. And there's also a whole bunch of new pets that are wild that spawn around the world that you can capture, much like Pokemon. You can then fight NPCs that are pet battle masters, and you can fight other people in WoW with their pets. You level them up, they have various abilities. It's fairly simple. The metagame is not nearly as deep as the Pokemon metagame because there's a much shorter range of abilities. Each pet has access to 6 and can use 3 at any given time. But it's still very neat. There's a huge variety of pets. I myself have collected about 400 of them. I think there's about 650 available. And they bring out more all the time.
Huh. Pokemon in the World of Warcraft, as if it needed additional crack.
Yeah, it's a really fun kind of side thing to do if, for example, you're raiding and you don't really feel like doing daily quests. You can just log in and do some pet battles, collect stuff. There's lots of pet battle daily quests that will give you bags of loot that's all pet related. You can get little brushes to make your pet sparkly. You get upgrade stones to upgrade the rarity of your pets because they all have a rarity now as well.
Oh, wow.
And you don't really want to be using anything less than the rarest available pets, so it's very nice being able to upgrade them on the spot like that.
Wow, did that whole pet thing lead to a new frenzy into World of Warcraft, or?
Not really. There's definitely a solid community for it, but it's not. I don't think it really attracted a whole bunch of people because the people that are into that kind of thing are already playing a deeper version of it. It's just kind of a distraction for people that already play WoW that just want something new to do within it. It's another path of character progression. If you've got all your achievements and you've got all your raid achievements and you've done all your PvP stuff and you really want to progress your character further, you can try and max out your pet library with level 25 rare battle pets.
Impressive. Wow,
That's a lot of
Whew. Wow,
It's also not super consuming, so it's a very casual method of playing, and I'm not pretending it's a hardcore thing that people do. It's really not.
I'm actually very glad that I didn't decide to jump back into World of Warcraft, because I was a Pokemon nut as a younger child. So that combined with World of Warcraft means I have no career or life.
Yeah. I'll send you one of my Pet Battle Guide videos. It shows the gameplay of the actual fight, and you'll see what it's about. But it's probably for the best.
I will actually link that right about now. There we go.
All right.
Annotated. Click on
Magic.
Click on the video to go see Hazel's Pokemon pet battles and other World of Warcraft crack.
Yeah, I'll pick a particularly good one. I think I made a joke or two in the Farmer Nishi one. It was a speedrun of some sort. I'm not very funny. I would love... You know how people shoutcast StarCraft?
Yeah.
If I could get Pet Battle Shoutcaster, that would be the coolest thing in the world. It's never going to happen because that's not a thing that people do.
Which is exactly why you should do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exactly why you should do it. Just go on... I don't know, just observe people having pet battles and then just shout crap the hell out of it.
Yeah. It'd be great.
Oh, of course. Where actually did you get your YouTube name? Is it actually your name plus games?
No.
Or?
Safety on the internet is always very important, so I always believe in using a name that's not your actual name.
Of course.
I liked the name Hazel, and I used to use it as a nickname back in like middle school. And then I was trying to think of witty things and puns, and HazelNuttyGames was the best thing I could come up with because my name's Hazel. Mm-hmm. I occasionally get nutty and I play video games. It's not the best thing ever, but I've seen worse.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
I've been recently trying to come up with a name for a sister channel where I put out non-gaming related stuff, just vlogs and things like that. And I have nothing. My friends just keep telling me to call it Hazel's Nuts, and I'm not amused. No.
Okay, I'm not gonna have any opinion on that.
Let's move on from that one.
I'm not gonna have any opinion on that one.
Alright.
Okay, so what is your favorite type of video game commentary? Like, what do you prefer? Blind Let's Plays, horror Let's Plays, strategy games, or indies?
Well, what I do is I really get into a personality of a particular Let's Player more so than watching a wide variety of a certain type of Let's Play. So when I start watching a whole bunch of one person, I'll watch everything that they do, and usually burn through it quite quickly. If I don't know anything about the person and I'm just looking for a Let's Play just to watch and kill some time, I'll usually do a more informative, pre-informed Let's Play about a game that I'm interested in, so I can learn something about it and not be lost when I go to play it myself.
Okay, so you're saying you like the different personalities? Any personalities and any types of personalities? Like, you don't have to drop channel names, but wacky, goofy, serious, or like straight man humor, very sardonic, dry wit.
I like very sarcastic, dry humor. I'm not too much about people that get very silly, which is funny because I tend to get very silly myself. But very sort of dry wit. I also have a thing for British commentators just because, they're British and their accents are super cool.
They have that sexy London accent.
Yeah, we go crazy for that in Canada because we pretend it's our heritage, and it is, but it's not really. But we can feel like we have a connection.
Cool. Okay, so let's see. What about a type? What kinds of videos? Like gaming videos kind of put you off? Like, what would you advise Let's Players?
Minecraft. That's personal. Like the Minecraft thing is just a really personal, subjective opinion, just because I don't play it. I don't mind. Whoa!
Have fun.
Ow! I don't mind.
Stay cool.
That other people do it. I just won't watch it. But I don't care. Oh, I'm just standing in the middle of this. This is normal. I can tank it.
You're standing in the middle of that. Anyway, so
I don't care for people that are very loud, that scream a lot, or swear loudly without needing to. I generally prefer a little bit of a, not necessarily an older Let's Player, but somebody with a more mature style of commentary.
So, okay, so you don't like the, more, I'm not gonna say spontaneous, but the, less reserved commentators out there. Okay, alright.
I'm not gonna say I don't like them, it's just not my preferred style to listen to. And again, this is making me a huge hypocrite because that's exactly how I commentate my games. I just play it, and I open my face, and words fall out of my face. I do script my first impressions videos and my pet battles, or at least come up with some points that I want to talk about. But my Let's Plays are all just off the cuff.
So, okay, so how do you decide between, like, what's going to be scripted and what's not? Is it just the short first-time impressions? I noticed you have a series called First Date With.
Yes. So that's my first impressions series. That's the one that I generally script, or at least come up with points I want to talk about. Those I treat them kind of as a cross between a first impressions and a one-off Let's Play. And the idea behind the First Date With name is, on a first date, you're spending some time with somebody to figure out if they're worth more of your time or if you just need to drop them and get as far away as possible, right?
Of course.
So, in a First Date With video, if it went really well and if the video is really well received and people really want to see more of it, they can vote below if they want to have a second date. That's actually how my Shadowrun Let's Play started. I posted my Shadowrun video, and one singular person said they really wanted to see a Let's Play. Unfortunately, that comment is now gone because I had to delete that video and upload one with better audio.
Oh no!
But one person wanted it, so I'm doing, and I really wanted to do it myself. So that's how my Shadowrun Let's Play came to be. Is it's going to be kind of a second date that just goes into a full playthrough.
Okay, cool.
So those are all scripted. The pet battles have script, but any ongoing Let's Play series that I do those 3 times a week now. Those are just kind of whatever happens is happening.
Okay. Do you plan on doing mainly blind Let's Plays, or have you ever thought about doing a legitimate walkthrough of a game you've played before?
I would prefer to do a legitimate informed walkthrough of a game that I've played before, but it would be very difficult because I haven't played that many games. I love games, but I'm very much an indie game hopper that has a lot of games in my Steam library and spends like an hour or 2 on each one a week. And I don't really... There's very few games. The only game that I can really put really informative guides out for, or walkthroughs, are different aspects of World of Warcraft, because I've played it for 3 or 4 years now. Everything else is more of a blind kind of situation because I'm experiencing it for the first time like everybody else.
Do you plan on doing any walkthroughs? Like, say, if you get really wrapped up into a particular indie game, and you're suddenly, oh my god, 5 hours later, I beat the game.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to do that. One of my favorite indie games is a little RPG that you might not have heard of. It's called To the Moon.
That actually gained a lot of popularity. I want to say sometime this spring, like just this.
It's been out for a little more than a year, I think. It's a very sweet game. Sweet is in adorable and cute, not like super high action. And I've played through that one about twice now. It's a very linear story with a couple puzzles, so I don't know how I would present it, but I would love to just do a whole playthrough on that, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, what's this do? Oh, that almost killed you. Okay, my apologies.
I'm sure there's no friendly fire involved.
Oh god, be hilarious.
We're on easy mode.
Be hilarious if there was.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, what was I? You don't like Minecraft. Does that mean you don't like bandwagon games in general, or?
Well, kind of. The reason I don't like Minecraft is because I heard of it quite a bit after it had become very popular, and to be honest, the fan base turned me off a bit. I know a lot of people that like Minecraft that are wonderful and extremely normal people, but it's kind of like World of Warcraft in that whenever you get a fan base that's that huge, their vocal minority is going to be a little bit obnoxious, and I just didn't really want to have anything to do with it. It also, it pretty much just was me avoiding a bandwagon game. That's not to say I wouldn't play a game that became a bandwagon or was a bandwagon if I cared a lot about the game, but I won't go out of my way to play something just because it's popular.
Okay. Now,
it's also really blocky, and I like pretty games.
Okay. Alright, well, the art style in Don't Starve, I really do like it a lot. And that dude went flying. Splat.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I've always... Oh, Oh. Diablo, face cam horror game.
I told you he went flying. I don't.
I didn't realize he was gonna fall back down.
Hey, it's physics. What goes up must comes down.
Yeah.
But
I had a thing I was gonna say. What was it?
Don't Starve.
Oh yes, Don't Starve. I've always loved like the Tim Burton kind of creepy but not creepy cartoony horror style of everything, and Don't Starve very much has that kind of sense of humor and a similar aesthetic, which is just the best. I was skeptical about it when I first saw it because it's like sort of half 2D and permadeath. Both neither.
Have fun.
Have
fun. Have fun. He wants you.
I love his arms. He's waving his arms like murder, somebody love me. I just want a hug. Why won't anybody hug me?
I don't like to hug you. You smell. You need a bath. And you.
Oh, did you see what he just did?
He protrudes things.
Where did he get this? Is he just? Oh, but
and now his insides turned into snakes.
I am the most squeamish and jumpish person that you will ever meet, which is why I probably won't do any horror games anytime soon.
Oh no. Okay, so since we're on that topic, horror games.
Yes.
If you were going to play it, you obviously don't prefer the classic jump scare style.
I would do it if my fans really wanted to see it, but because I'm very animated when I'm frightened. But it's just traumatizing. I played Amnesia for 35 seconds, I think. It was less than a minute, and I turned it off because I just couldn't do it. And that was in full daylight with friends around.
Now see, that's what I don't get about some Let's Players. If you're oh dear, here we go. He likes you. Oh look, he loves you.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and let him give me a hug. Maybe he just wants love.
Explosive love. Anyway, what was I saying? Alright. On the topic of like horror games or games you don't like to do, I've seen some Let's Players say that if my fans want me to do it, I'll do it. But it's I don't know. I just feel uncomfortable about that idea. Yeah. Like being
yeah, it depends because I mean it doesn't matter how many people ask me to do Minecraft. That wouldn't happen because I'm not interested in the game, and I have issues with like the concept of the game and why it's so popular. But I understand that horror games I understand their point and they're well crafted. The reason I don't want to play them isn't because I don't like them, it's because I get really, 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 really scared. And it's just more of just a fear avoidance thing than anything else.
Okay. So you'd only want to play games that you have some inkling of wanting to.
I'd want to play games that I have respect for. I'm gonna piss off so many Minecraft fans.
That's I'm sorry. Fine. I've made my position clear on Minecraft. Some of my subs wanted me to play Minecraft. I'm like, no. So it's fine. Your opinions are welcome here.
I have no problem with whatever other people want to do with their lives, as long as I don't have to do it with mine.
Exactly.
Alright. I'm skipping this because I don't really care.
Let's just skip it.
He's kind of full of himself.
Oh, of course.
We didn't do this to listen to him.
No. We did this to listen to each other.
Yes.
So, I will not save you. I will kick some skeleton butt, man. You cool your heels, old man. Come here to kick ass and oh shit.
Oh dear.
He wants you. It's you he wants.
I feel like I probably should have trained another ability by now and not just be using my auto shot. I think that's a thing that I could have done like way back at the beginning.
Probably. But whatevs. I blind you! Oh wait, shit. I was gonna flash him, but then I
love the way he walks. He's just like, I don't care. I'm moseying on over. I'm gonna get you one of these days.
Oh, he's surly. That's what That's what his walking is. He's surly.
He's mad. We woke him up too early this morning.
He's like, ah. Oh god. Oh.
There's a big button that says new skill slots available. I'm gonna click on that. Oh, there's 2 of them.
I have new inventory.
I'm gonna throw a knife.
I don't add.
Oh,
Qatar.
We could have been putting on gear and stuff. Look at all this stuff.
Oh god. I've just been right clicking and picking up stuff. It's like no, I don't care.
I've been picking up stuff. I haven't been putting any of it on.
Oh shit.
All right, we're good now. I have an ability, and what does this
where
do?
Where is it? Gameplay.
Oh, it's black.
Sweet elective mode. Return to
places
game.
a trap that slows enemy. Oh, I see.
But what was it? There we go. I like this one. Okay.
Entangling shot. Yeah, I'll stick with my Hungry Arrow.
Oh, I love these snare traps. They are hilariously fun.
Okay.
I hope we get to the point where you get grenades. Now that is some fun. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about playing games due to viewer requests and when it's okay and when it's not.
Yes, exactly. If it's a game I have some interest in, that sounds like a good idea, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Aside from that, though, Minecraft and
Happy Wheels.
Don't get me started on Happy Wheels.
I'll be honest, I don't know anything about Happy Wheels. I just know the internet's flooded with it, and it's extremely silly. That's all I know.
Out of my way. I don't understand the phenomena behind a game like Happy Wheels. Like Minecraft, I can sort of understand because it's basically
exploring and sandboxy, and people like to play with Legos.
Exactly. Happy Wheels? What in sweet? Oh, love your flag, by the way.
Oh, I have a flag. Which one's mine? Am I the black one or the blue one? I think I'm the.
Oh, you are the gray one with that bird-looking thingy.
Okay. I don't think I designed that unless I did it a year ago and forgot about it, but I'm gonna pretend I did because that's super cool.
I also don't remember designing such a gaudy thing. I mean, teal? Come on. I don't use
teal with red. That's special.
I don't use those colors anymore. Oh shit! It always feels like I'm getting struck by lightning every time I level up. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. People like glowy, flashy light. I don't blame them. It's shiny.
It's shiny. Go towards the light. The light. Or
what are we doing? Talk to the blacksmith. Hadric Eamon.
Hadric. Eamon.
I love doing silly voices. I'm so excited for my Shadowrun Let's Play because I don't know how much you know about Shadowrun Returns.
I don't know that much. Please enlighten me. I know it got kickstarted. That's about it.
It's a classic RPG. So it's very story driven. There's lots of text, lots of interacting with characters, investigating the mysteries. The aesthetic is very cyberpunk, so it's just awesome. And as I'm going through meeting all these characters and talking with them and learning about what's going on, and I'm voicing all of this because there's no voice acting in the game itself, and it would be very boring if I just let people read it with not knowing how fast they're reading. So I'm voicing it and trying to distinguish between the various characters. I'm trying to do accents, which is really funny when I can't do accents at all. There was this one guy. I decided that he was a dwarf, so I decided he was gonna be like sort of Irish Scottish-ish.
Scottish.
Don't judge me.
Send your racially charged emails too.
Yeah.
It's like
I'll take those. I'm sorry.
We're not Irish. First 3 words in that angry email. I
haven't even gotten to the worst part of it yet. He started out as Irish, and by the end of the scene, he was 100% Indian.
I'm sorry. What? Oh, I have to watch this. I have to watch this one. Link in the description if it's up.
I started uploading 7 hours ago. It should be finished any day now.
Any day.
Any day.
This is actually going to go up on Friday.
Okay.
We are recording this on Wednesday night. It is currently 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So if by the time you see this, viewers, that video is not finished processing yet, send angry letters to YouTube. Good.
To youtube.com/gmail/hashtag.org.net.
youtube.com/gmail/hashtag Twitter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Has Google bought them yet? Because I feel like they're going to.
What, Twitter? Yeah. I imagine the plans are in the making.
Mm-hmm. They'll own everything one day.
Good.
So long as they get me a self-driving car, I'm okay with that.
Oh, that is in the works. Have you seen the new model on that?
They're awesome. I just want them to be available.
Prototypes.
Yeah, probably going to be a couple years, but they pushed Google Glass out fairly quickly, so that's something.
That is true. Google Glasses, augmented reality, cyberpunk. So, back to Shadowrun Returns.
I think that was all I can talk about the game all day, but I did just depends on what you want to know. It's fantastic. It's cyberpunky. it reminded me a lot of a pen and paper RPG. I didn't really ever play much Dungeons and Dragons, but I played a lot of Pathfinder, which is sort of a derivative version of that. And it's very similar in that you build your character in the same way. You're picking out stats. It's not super gear heavy, but there is still gear that you pick up. And the combat is turn-based, and it's on a grid, much like it is on a pen and paper RPG, and also kind of similar to XCOM. But because there's a fixed perspective, you don't have the same kind of bullshit that XCOM had. It's very neat. It's very fun.
Cool.
If you're not into story games and you want like super high action, then it's not the right thing for you. The combat's very tactical. It's very premeditated, and you spend about 60 or 70% of your game time just reading about the story and talking to people. But I love it.
Is the combat turn-based? Like, I don't know that much about...
Yes. You have a control. I haven't gotten all the way through the game, so I don't know what kind of squad you have. My health is kind of low here. You have control of a couple of people, and you move them around the grid, the map, into cover. You can see what your hit chance is of various enemies on the map. You can use... It's mostly ranged attacks. You can use melee attacks against them as well. Enemy goes, you go. They move. If you've ever played a game like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics, those are other turn-based strategy games in the same kind of vein.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's oh, sorry. Hang on. Sorry, went the wrong way. What is your ooh?
Where are we going? What is?
I have no idea. Where are you trying to take us, map?
Find the cemetery of the fort. Let's no, that's New Tristram. What? Oh, you know what? I have a plan. Follow me.
Follow
Adventure.
Her.
We are going
to
the teleporter thing.
Oh.
Because I feel like that takes us closer.
Okay.
I could be 100% incorrect.
I will follow you to adventure. Let's do this.
Let's see. Let's click on this thing and go to
New Tristram. Where'd you go?
That's where we were. I went to the Cathedral Garden.
Cathedral Garden.
It was also not the right place.
Also not the right place. But
well, all these places are connected.
The closest unlock waypoint to your quest objective is New Tristram. So we do have to go back. We do have to go past that new place.
All right. Let's go.
Okay. Cool.
Good. We know what we're doing.
Now, are you you were talking earlier about possibly adding a different channel. Are you planning on expanding the channel you have right now, like adding different types of content, maybe machinima or anything, any different projects like that aside from Let's Plays?
Yes. Well, the sister channel, the side channel, would be just for pretty much vlogs and any non-gaming related music covers, if I ever did any of those for fun. But the only other thing I could see myself, I want to keep HazelNuttyGames very gaming related. Mm-hmm. The only other thing I can see myself doing is, it wouldn't really be a machinima, but making parody songs. For the longest time, I wanted to write and produce a song that was an ode to the DEFILED in Don't Starve.
Okay.
And doing sort of things like that, because I used to love and watch those videos, like mostly World of Warcraft related ones, but game related original parody songs. I find them extremely entertaining, and they look like they'd be a lot of fun to make. I've got a reasonable amount of experience in that kind of thing, so that would be a fun thing to put on my channel, but it's just so time consuming, I don't know when it's going to happen.
Okay.
It'd be fun, though.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So, well, what is your opinion on, say, collaborations? Because I know there was a lot of odd threads going around r/Let's Play.
Yeah. There's a find a collaborative partner thread, like usually almost once a week, and that's fine. I participated in one of those, and I found a couple of other awesome Let's Players that I've worked with. I've done, I guess, 2 or 3 collaborations, and I've got another 2 or 3 in the works. They're a lot of fun. It's great getting to know the other people in the community, because they're all wonderful, and as somebody that mostly does solo commentary, it's very nice having somebody else to bounce off of. I wouldn't do it all the time. I know a lot of people have channels that are based on 2 or 3 people that all commentate together. But I feel like organizing that would just be a nightmare. I can barely get my stuff out when I just have me to get out of bed.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel.
The threads that I think you might be talking about, the female and male specific ones that happened last week, that was just a mess.
That was
That was special.
since
Heart of the Swarm Collector's Edition, Blade Wings. Oh, sure, now you're gonna give me my Blade Wings. Hang on.
what?
I bought the StarCraft Heart of the Swarm Collector's Edition.
Oh,
And that
what?
stuff. Yeah, I'm cool.
What?
The funny thing is, I'm like the worst person at StarCraft ever. I play a lot of it because it's super fun, and I'm hoping if I play like 90 hours of it, I might actually get good. Hasn't happened yet. I am Bronze League level pro.
You are on the right track. You're on the right track. Practice, practice, practice. I actually tried getting back into StarCraft after not having played it for a long time, and suddenly that feeling when you've played nothing but first-person shooters, jumping into an RTS game.
Oh,
It's like
I can see that being a little whiplashy.
WAS and D don't work. What? What is going on?
What do? What do?
What the hotkeys? What hotkeys? I forgot all the hotkeys. It's such a bad.
Press face against keyboard.
Pretty much. Face roll everywhere. But yeah, that was. Okay, since we're on the subject, how do you feel being a game commentator, playing different types of games at the same time? Like hard to juggle, easy.
Well, it depends. How do I approach this one? I do a fair variety of games, but there's a couple of types that I just don't do because I just personally don't play them. I can't do first-person shooters, just not because they're not good games, but because I can't shoot. I can't. I got crushed in a match of Halo when I was 12, and it's been downhill ever since.
Okay.
Everything else I can learn and get around, but I've had no luck getting anywhere with shooters, so I don't do those. Everything else I'm pretty okay with hopping around in because I'm always trying. Whenever I'm gaming, I'm a fairly new gamer. I'm pretty young, and I didn't grow up with video games like a lot of other people did. My parents didn't let me have a computer or a console or anything like that.
Okay.
So I feel like I've been playing catch up for a long time, and whenever I'm playing a video game, I'm always trying to learn more about it to get better at it. So I'm not quite as awful.
Okay. All right.
A lot of people take for granted the gaming skills that they've been working on for 10 or 15 years that they grew up with, and it's a little bit more difficult starting from scratch.
Now that's interesting. Now seeing you have a relatively fresh pair of eyes on gaming, the gaming industry, games in general.
Yes.
How do you feel about launching into this crazy world of gaming?
Launching into the crazy, it's very exciting because when you look at retro games that people get very excited and nostalgic about, they're cool, but we've come a long way in terms of not only graphics but design mechanics and different ideas into how to build games and make them entertaining and make them really good. There's something. Oh god, that's disgusting. Did you see that guy?
What?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm getting vomited on over here. Like, you talk to me about disgusting.
Yeah. There's a couple of directions that we're moving in terms of like DLC and DRM that are not good, but for the most part, there's people I think take for granted how awesome video games are these days because they've seen them evolve very slowly. It's like watching your dog grow up. You don't really understand how big he's gotten so quickly when you see him every day, but somebody else visits your dog and goes, "Holy crap, you've got a dog now." I thought that was a puppy like a week ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If that analogy makes any sense. So it's very exciting. It's very overwhelming because there's a lot of things about interacting with user interface elements, and I don't know, learning to play games is it can be overwhelming and difficult, especially for games with a steep learning curve like StarCraft, for example. There's a lot of stuff to learn. MOBAs are another one. I tried League of Legends, and I just couldn't quite get into it because the community's not very forgiving to people trying to learn the item table and the abilities and the heroes and things like that. But for the most part, it's a lot of fun. I wish I had more time to spend just playing video games all the time.
No,
and it's great.
I'm curious. What game got you into?
World of Warcraft. I was in high school, and This is going to be a very typical story. I had a boyfriend that played World of Warcraft.
Okay.
And he would ignore me all the time to play World of Warcraft.
I'm sorry.
So I got the yeah.
I'm
got the
sorry.
to play World of Warcraft with him, which didn't work out because he was like an elite raiding guild person and I was brand new.
Uh-huh.
But I got into World of Warcraft that way, and shortly after he ended up quitting, which was just my luck. That didn't work out. But after that, I was hooked into World of Warcraft. I played that for a while. Started watching Total Biscuit's videos, and then when he started making videos of other games and I started watching them, I started realizing how much else there actually was out there and that it wasn't that difficult to get into.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
My first Steam also contributed kind of a lot too.
wow. Now how has Steam, like, I know a lot of gamers use Steam as our main window into video games. But has anything else, like, have you looked outside of Steam, or have you, like...
I definitely do a lot of comparison shopping when I'm buying games. A lot of times, even if you get something off Gamersgate or Green Man Gaming, or you can often get a Steam key for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not... I definitely don't buy exclusively from Steam, but I usually keep them organized in Steam because it's just no other platform has really advanced that much in the way that they do things.
Okay. So, are you mainly PC gamer, or?
Absolutely, 100%. I bought a Wii because I remember playing Zelda at a friend's house as a child and really wanted to get back into that. But it's pretty much just for Netflix now.
Okay.
I tried. It's hard to get into. I imagine now that I'm... Oh, look at all this stuff. Pretty. I imagine now that I'm spending a lot of time. I recently moved back to Canada. I think I might have mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
And my internet here is kind of slow for the time being. So when my uploads are taking 5 or 6 hours and I can't use the internet during that time, that would be a great opportunity for me to sit down and play some Skyward Sword and actually get through it. Because it's the same way with any new game. The first 2 or 3 hours are a little bit more difficult to do because you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what the story's about. It's a little bit harder to get into and you feel kind of handicapped. But once you've gotten past that first bit and you're into the story, that's when you can really start to play the game and enjoy it. And actually feel compelled and want to play the game.
Okay.
So I just got to get to that point, and then I'll be good.
Okay. Cool. Now, let's see. What are some games you're looking forward to? Like games that are coming out, or games that are currently in alpha, kickstarted. Anything you're looking forward to? Anything you're excited about?
Okay. I have 2 answers to this question. I'll start with Hearthstone. You might have heard of it. It's the new Blizzard online collectible card game.
That's right. The one that they released that everyone thought was going to be Project Titan.
Yes, they were at BlizzCon, and they've been putting out invites saying we're about to release a brand new IP, and everybody got in the place, and everybody was excited, and they said, all right, we're doing a card game, and then one guy was just, like, clapping his hands, and all of that, and everybody else was just staring at them like, what did you do to us?
Oh, God, I feel so sorry for that one guy.
But regardless, I love collectible card games. I'm a big player of Magic the Gathering, and I'm very fond of casual versions of that. I'm all for the hardcore stuff, especially in real life. I've got all the expensive cards. It's a huge money sink. But when I'm playing on the computer, I just kind of want to sit back, relax, maybe watch a podcast or a video while I'm doing it because it's all turn-based. And I'm very excited about a free-to-play World of Warcraft version of that.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get into the beta one of these days. I got an email about 2 days ago from Blizzard, and it was titled Beta Test Invite, and it was right before I got on the plane. So I was super excited about it, right?
Okay.
And then I get home, and I open up my email, and it's for their new desktop launcher. I got invited to the beta for their beta.
Oh, that's so
happy.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
That's so mean.
But it'll come out one day, and I will play it, and I'll probably cover it on my channel. And I'm excited about that. I know a lot of people think it's dumb, but they can think whatever they want. We got to be open about everything.
You know what? It's your channel. You can do whatever the hell you want on it.
The other game that I'm looking forward to is called The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. Have you heard of it?
As from what I know, it is a Ubisoft free-to-play game that's sort of like Diablo. Aside from that, not much else.
So the premise of this game is that you are both the dungeon and the adventurer. You have a character and you have a castle. In your castle, you have kind of... You design your castle, you put mobs in it, you put traps in it, you put bosses in it. You purchase these things with the currency, and you design it so essentially other actual players, will hopefully die when trying to get through to steal your stuff. When you're bored of that, you go and you enter other people's castles that they've designed to try and steal their stuff.
Okay.
I find that it's an extremely cool concept. I've seen a lot of gameplay of it. The combat really is very Diablo-like going through these dungeons, but I find it really interesting seeing what other people have designed. It looks a little bit grindy, but I'm never averse to some grinding if I'm really into the game. I'm
curious. It's a free-to-play game, right?
Yes. And there's been some controversy over the freemium elements that they put in, the way they've utilized their currency. There's been some talk that with the recent patch they've made it pay to win because you can opt to use either in-game or actual currency for pretty much everything now. A lot of people are very mad about that. In my opinion, I'm okay if you can pay your way through it, so long as it doesn't negatively affect how quickly it takes to progress through it without using money.
Oh.
So long as it didn't make the grind unreasonable to try and trick you into paying money for it, I'm okay with it.
Oh, okay. So as long as both options are equally viable,
yes,
you're fine with it. Okay.
You can do everything as a free-to-play player that you could if you paid your way through it.
Okay.
And it will obviously take some amount of time longer. So long as that amount of time is not unreasonable. I won't know until I get into the beta or until it releases.
Okay.
But it's a very cool-looking concept, and I'm excited for it.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
I think they're actually having an open beta week. I should probably be on that.
Oh no. Well, viewers and listeners, be sure to check out HazelNuttyGames for your epic quest loot needs. I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name of the game already.
It's the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. It's the dumbest name I've ever heard.
The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. Be sure to check out HazelNuttyGames.
Yeah. If assuming I actually put out content for it, which I might. We'll see.
Assuming she puts out content for it. This is disclaimer.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
The Checkpoint podcast is not omniscient. So,
I should probably get a weapon that I can use. Let's put on a bow so I can shoot things again.
Okay.
There we go.
Where the heck? I'm gonna pull a Gandalf moment here.
Alright.
I have no memory of this place.
Oh, I thought you were gonna stand there and say, "You shall not pass!" Because that would have been a very good Gandalf moment. You were kind of on a bridge there.
But, everyone's dead. There ain't no one to pass. But I'm gonna say right now, I have no memory of this place. I've never seen this map before, ever.
Search for the Chancellor's Altar between... Oh, I know this place. It's huge.
Survive the skeletons raised by the...
This is an optional event. It's super fun. Pew, pew,
How
pew,
about the
pew.
undead?
Yes.
Huzzah! Okay, while I'm randomly clicking out on my screen...
Yeah.
What game aside from World of Warcraft has influenced the way you approach video games?
Huh. What game aside from World of Warcraft?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Has influenced the way I played them? Or just looked at them?
Yeah, just looked at. And ain't gotta be fancy.
Alright. This might take me a second, especially because we're...
Run!
Holy crap, there's a lot of zombies here. Yeah, now is the time to tell me I've got an empty equipment slot game. Thanks.
Oh god, run!
It's okay, I slowed them all down. You know what, an AoE would be so cool.
Kite! Oh god, I have one, but it's like... Okay, now we just have to destroy the Jar of Souls. Can you shoot it?
Probably? No, there's too many people.
Oh!
The event. Unfortunately, that did not kill all the zombies. I'm gonna kite them. They're gonna follow me, and you do something boomy.
I'm dead.
Oh, well then. Good.
Why does this always happen during the podcast?
I killed one. Oh, there's a health pot back there.
Don't worry, I'm coming. I just revived at the checkpoint.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I actually do have some
There's the health
AoE.
pot.
I actually do have some AoE. So, I will be
Probably could have had some if I'd looked at my abilities previous to this.
I will be on my way soon.
Alright. Jeez, way to pick the hard question right when we get mobbed by zombies.
Out of my way, fools!
Rebels. Oh dear.
Revel up.
Level 7.
Revel 7.
I was very close to having a very racist accent there for a second.
I can do it because I'm Asian.
Alright,
It's
good.
okay. I'm Asian.
uh,
Alright, let's see. Ooh, Vulture. Cool.
What game?
Alright.
I don't know if I have an answer for that one.
Aside from. Okay.
I must have played some games. Oh, you know what? Dragon Age Origins is the benchmark for which I judge all other role-playing and 3D action games.
So, okay.
I played Dragon Age Origins to death.
BioWare's
I forgot
Opus?
about how much I played with that one, because I actually got it before I got Steam. And it's in my opinion, the best BioWare title. And the way that they did the morality choices, the character design, like how interesting the characters actually were, in addition to the story and the open world, everything was just perfect. Well, everything wasn't perfect, but in my nostalgic-driven mind, everything was perfect about that game. And I'll forever be looking for another game that had quite that degree of magic for me.
Have you looked into some of BioWare's other older games, like Knights of the Old Republic or Jade Empire?
I've never heard of Jade Empire. I haven't tried Knights of the Old Republic. I played the MMO that they came out with.
That is not Knights of the... No. That is the Old Republic. That is not Knights of the Old Republic.
I know.
The morality system, the plot, meh.
And then, of course, Mass Effects. I haven't actually played any of them. I'd be interested in looking into the Jade Empire, though, just because it's a very neat name, and it doesn't sound like... The reason I didn't get into the Mass Effect trilogy was just because I'm not big in shooting, and I'm very selective about the sci-fi that I enjoy. I'm more of a fantasy person.
Jade Empires is very much fantasy.
Excellent.
It's very much magic fantasy.
10 out of 10.
Jade Empires is actually what I moved on to next after moving past the Final Fantasy series.
Okay.
Like, I stopped playing Final Fantasy series at 9. Okay? Because, like... And I didn't have money or time for, what was it? The PlayStation 2.
Right.
But after about halfway done through high school, I got the Xbox when it came out. Like a couple of years after it came out, I got my own Xbox.
Right. I'm gonna take a second to look at some abilities here.
Okay.
Hang on.
I'll chill here and just talk.
Okay.
So, after Final Fantasy, I got a bit of a hankering for the classic RPG. Unfortunately, there's nothing like that on the Xbox. So I saw Jade Empire. It was touted as BioWare's action RPG.
Right.
I played it, and you could basically say the morality system in that game, you could consider that the predecessor to you can consider Jade Empire to be the predecessor to Mass Effect in terms of the morality system.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's very much choices, but Jade Empire's and both Jade Empire and Mass Effect don't really deal in good or evil. They deal in more so, like, where, you know how in Mass Effect you have Paragon versus Renegade, right?
No, but I understand the concept.
Okay, so it's not exactly good or evil, it's more so how you approach something.
Right.
So
gray areas of morality.
Yeah, basically, like, you're gonna be the hero, you're gonna defeat the villain, you're gonna save the people. The question is how, and what is your motive for doing it?
Right.
You know, that's
very interesting.
That's how these two games approach morality. You know.
Now, this sounds like a very old game. Not calling you old, but you say it was from like a long time ago.
Jade Empire first came out back in 2003. I know. Silence. Holy shit! It came out in 2003. That's 10 years. Oh my god.
I'm not going to share with you how old I was then, but it was a long time ago.
What happened? What happened at the time? Anyway, I loved Jade Empire when I was younger. Okay, I was young once. Once upon a blue moon, even Gandalf was young. He wasn't.
Gandalf was never young. He was born with a beard.
No one was born old.
Except for Benjamin Button.
Except for Benjamin Button. Why is it only old people say that? I wasn't born old. That's so sad. Why is it only old people say that?
It's because I'm not old. I have no right to say anything about why they say anything.
Oh god.
Anyway, Jade Empire 2003.
Jade Empire was released back in 2003, and it's based. I bought it on a whim. It was released about a year or so after. No, not even a year or so. Like 6 months or so after it was released, the price dropped from $40 to about $20. I decided to buy it on a whim. Damn it, that was the wrong one. And it actually wowed me. They have fantastic. It's a action RPG, similar to Dragon Age Origins, except that you don't play as all your different characters. You play as the main character, and you have one follower with you.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a similar system to the combat system in Dragon Age. It's just that it's not turn-based, it's all real-time. You can't pause and switch between characters.
It sounds a little bit like a Bethesda RPG, like Oblivion or Morrowind. Because you also have followers, and it's also fantasy abilities in real-time. Yes, no?
Yes, except that it's a third-person in standard BioWare fashion. You know,
I see.
with old games like that.
Yes.
So...
By third person, do you mean isometric?
No.
Like the viewpoint we have here?
No, it's third person over the shoulder.
Oh, okay. How did you play Oblivion?
Huh?
Never mind.
No, you could actually play Oblivion third person over the shoulder.
Yes, and that's why I'm confused, is because that's what I did.
Yeah. But no, to be honest,
I'll let you finish.
I played Oblivion first person because that way you can see every single coin on the floor.
That is true.
That's the only way, because I'm a loot whore.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jade Empire is... It's a third-person, over-the-shoulder kung fu action game.
Kung fu action.
Kung fu action.
Amazing.
It sounds amazing. It is amazing.
It's everything Pandaria should have been.
No, actually, you laugh, but that's honestly what I was expecting. Because, yeah, it's the combat is simplistic, but it's in that simplicity that you have a lot of fun. Because, yeah, it's a 1-2 button thing, but you have a bunch of different abilities to switch between. Like, where in most games you would switch between different weapons or different abilities, in Jade Empire, you actually switch between different fighting styles.
Okay.
Like...
Oh, that's actually kind of neat.
Yeah. And each fighting style actually has its own personality. For example, there is your standard, like, Donnie Yen, Ip Man, very... If you watch Kung Fu movies. Do you watch Kung Fu movies? Or anything like that?
I watched one Kung Fu movie, and I thought it was hilarious.
Which one is it?
Oh, I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. Take your...
It's a DVD in my shelf somewhere. I just have to actually look for it.
Where the hell is this damn thing? Is it over here?
Yeah, it's I never find it on my first dungeon.
What the hell?
Like,
hang on.
Wait, did we check all of them?
Yeah, that's what it's like. What the...
Alright, you're gonna go look at dungeons, and I'm gonna find this DVD, because it should be, like, right here. My shelf is right here.
Yes, please do find it. Because Jade Empire is currently on sale right now on Steam for $15. And it is a...
Are you a Valve representative? Because you're doing an excellent job at sales.
You know, the funniest thing is one of my friends said that. Because when I first got Steam, I was posting its sales, and they're like, oh, Valve should totally pay you for this stuff. It's like, no! I don't get paid. I would like to get paid.
Valve, get on it.
Valve,
Alright.
please. Please, I need money. I need that monies. YouTube ain't working for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to you now. I do not believe I will be able to find that DVD. I do not see it on this shelf. It had, I think it had Jet Li in it, and it was English. There was Kung Fu. It was very...
Was it in English, or did it have like that horrible dubbing?
I think it was dubbed. I think it was really bad dubs. I've watched enough anime to know bad dubs.
But Describe it to me, because I've watched just about every single Jet Li movie out there.
We might have to have this conversation at another time after I find it, because I watched this like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years ago.
Okay.
Once.
Well, anyway.
This is asking too much of my memory.
Anyway,
there was something to do with clouds and like a kingdom. No, maybe there's no clouds.
What?
They were on clouds.
They're on clouds.
there were people kung fu fighting on top of clouds in the sky.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
But let me think. Oh, Jade Empire.
$15 on Steam.
It's $15 on Steam. It is a very, very unique take on just when it came out. It was basically the only game of its kind because no other mainstream game was set in mythical China. It was either set in like Western fantasy or sci-fi or something like that. Like when Jade Empire first came out, it blew a lot of minds because they're like, "Oh my god, it's actually set in a non-dungeon."
Yeah.
You know, the art.
I'm still kind of hurting for games like that. You get a little bit sick of this kind of environment after a while. Bam.
The thing that blew me away about Jade Empire was it wasn't the combat or even the art style. It was the music.
Okay.
The music behind Jade Empire matches the tone of the game very well. Like Jack Wall, who developed the music score for this game, did a really fantastic job with it. It's I don't know. You'd have to listen.
That's always really good to see. A lot of people, I think, overlook video game music, and it's something that adds so much to the actual experience.
It really is, and it blew my mind that I was like, oh my god! I actually went out and bought the soundtrack.
Absolutely.
That's how much I love this. The musical score to it just blew my mind. But I highly recommend even if you don't buy it, just check out gameplay videos of it.
I will probably buy it.
Like,
that's something that's probably gonna happen once we're done here. But yeah,
I highly recommend you check out gameplay vids of it, or even the original trailer that BioWare released for it back in 2002, because even that looks pretty good.
Yeah,
and it has.
I will check it out.
It's a really good game. Let's see. What else do I want to ask you about?
Well, I had one thing to say about when you were mentioning the soundtrack and the and sort of the Chinese style of it and the environment. One of the things I wanted to say was slightly tangentially related.
Okay.
Was just that's one of the things that was so great about Shadowrun is that the environments are all futuristic Seattle.
Oh wow.
So they're not post-apocalyptic. They're not dusty battlefield. They're not dungeon, and they're not spaceship. Which are pretty much all we ever see. It's very cool. And then the other thing was I wanted to ask if you've heard anything from the Mists of Pandaria soundtrack.
I have not, because I haven't played it ever.
Right. So I got the collector's edition for Mists of Pandaria when it came out, and that came with the soundtrack. And I actually listened to it while I was waiting to get into the game because it took a long time. It was midnight. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the most impressive game soundtracks that I've actually ever heard. I didn't want to sound like I was making fun of the Jade Empire soundtrack because that's a very similar thing, and it very well might be better. But they did some incredible things with the music in Mists of Pandaria. I've always been really, really happy with what Blizzard did with their orchestral works, but they definitely took a different. It's a culturally different setting than they've ever done before, and they did really well with introducing new instruments for it, new themes, and it's fantastic. I highly recommend that you listen to it.
Okay.
Or at least like. I'm sure if you search YouTube for it, you'll find a popular track somewhere near the top. I imagine that's something that could happen.
All right,
yeah, I'll let you proceed with your questions.
I will definitely find that. We covered that. Wow, we covered so many things just by.
We're pretty on topic.
Yeah, we covered so much stuff. Oh my god, I'm running out of questions.
Well, we've been at it for an hour and 10 minutes. We don't want it to be too long.
Holy shit, really?
Well, that might not be the whole. I mean, that's what the Skype call's at.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So we're probably about an hour.
Alright, so hour and a half, and we're actually just about to finish up this quest. So let's just do some rounding up comments. Have you run into any issues while Let's Playing, or any advice for future commentators, or, words to the fans?
Oh my god, sorry.
I knew
why
that
was I
coming.
standing there? I knew that was gonna happen. I've played this before. Alright. Advice? Sorry, was this advice for new commentators or words to my
Both.
fans? Or
Either.
Alright. Well, as somebody who recently started, I started back May 29th, so I've been at this for like a little bit more than 2 months now. So I'm still fairly new, but I feel like I've learned a lot of lessons between now and then. Never underestimate how important audio quality is.
Mm-hmm.
Video quality is fairly easy to get, because if your computer can handle it, you record in 1080p, you upload as best you can, and that's it. But audio is much more difficult to get properly, especially if you're working with a lower tier microphone, and it's so important. I can't listen to... I personally don't listen to Let's Players, unfortunately, that don't have top quality audio, because there's just so much competition out there. It's important to be on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And anything else I could say in terms of advice is stuff that you can already find on r/Let's Play. There's a lot of great advice there. The wiki is probably the most useful thing.
Wait, there's a wiki?
It's in the sidebar.
Oh, okay.
It's got like a whole bunch of information.
Alright, I thought there was an actual WikiHow page.
No, there should be.
I'm like, wait, what? There's a wiki on Let's Playing?
It's just a wiki in the terms of it's a summarization of different useful resources that have been contributed by the community.
Okay. Yeah.
Rawest definition of wiki.
Okay.
Oh. In terms of fans, I'm just shocked that I have fans. I'm extremely excited by that.
No, don't be. You earned it. If you got these fans, you probably earned it.
You probably.
No.
Let's backtrack a little bit. I think you earned it.
No. To be very honest with you, like it's not just that. It's not just that you earned it, but you worked hard for it. You didn't take shortcuts. Like I actually have seen a couple channels here that do some not very fun things with SEO. If you know what that is, search engine optimization, for those who don't know what the anagram stands for.
Yes.
So basically, in their descriptions, they would take the titles of more popular videos and copy paste them there, so that their content also shows up with the more popular videos.
I've seen people actually have their entire tag field copied and pasted into their description, which I guess it's not immoral unless you have, again, links to like references to more popular videos in it. But it looks very messy, and I feel like the YouTube market in terms of Let's Plays is so competitive now that people are resorting to really, really icky things in order to get popularity. And there's no real set way to get popularity, but there's definitely things that you shouldn't do.
For sure. I actually that whole copying tags into your description thing, it used to work up until this past November, I believe, when YouTube updated their search engine, because it would count that tag twice for your video and artificially up its rank. Yeah,
it's all a big numbers game.
Yeah, it really is.
And the best any of us can do, and the best I can do, is just keep putting out videos that I really like to make, doing my best with them, making sure I do my best to sort of link them around places that I'm active in, try and reach people that want to see the sort of thing that I do. And also, I'm really excited about being active, not just on YouTube, but Facebook and Twitter are easy ones, but I want to start streaming as well, and just kind of being not just like a YouTuber, but a community member, and growing that way. I'd love to one day do like conventions and all sorts of stuff. I have a dream. I'm not super set on my dream, and I will do this regardless of how big I get, but I have a dream.
Okay, good. All right.
Wonderful.
Advertisements. Now this is the part where we get to advertise our channels.
Woo.
Start with Hazel. Do you have any Twitter, Facebook?
Very easy. When I came up with my channel name, I wanted something that was easy to spell without actually having seen it, and I try and keep things consistent. So, Facebook.com/HazelNuttyGames.
Okay.
YouTube.com/HazelNuttyGames. Twitter @HazelNuttyGames. The only thing that's different is my Twitch handle is HazelNutty8, and I haven't even started streaming yet, so I wouldn't worry about it. I will tweet about it when I decide to stream.
Okay.
I will cover my schedule super quick. I upload 5 days a week. I do Monday through Friday. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are going to be my Let's Play series. It's currently Shadowrun Returns with lots of fun voices. Tuesdays are Pet Battle videos, and Thursdays are New First Dates With, which is the First Impression series. That's what I do.
Alright, cool. I'm SuperVin47. You can find me at SuperVin47 on Twitter and SuperVin47 or YouTube.com/SuperVin47. I upload Age of Wushu videos just about every day. For the next 2 weeks though, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I will be uploading my Fun in Borderlands 2 Let's Play with my friend Aaron. Wednesday and Saturday, I will be uploading my FTL Let's Play. That's a lot of fun. Let's see, what else? Also, every Friday, well, as many Fridays as I can make it, I will be uploading this, the Checkpoint Podcast, which you have just been listening to for the past hour or so, on Friday with every new week a guest. I'm actually in the middle of possibly inviting on co-hosts to come with me more regularly, but we'll see how that works out. Just saying.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm SuperVin47. You've been listening to and or watching the Checkpoint Podcast. Thanks for joining us, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.